What it do, dudes? It's Tingley here. Wanted to talk about this gun a little bit. Recently, a bunch of Century Arms Yugo M70 AB something or others came in about a month or two ago. They've had some issues. It looks like this isn't one of them. You could probably already tell if you got a good eye and you're not like total new to this. If you are new to this, that's fine. I'll talk about the differences. But those came in. They were like U.S. Army training contract rifles. A lot of people got them. You could go see Clayco's video on what he got. H-Town Werewolf, I think he got one too. He did some videos. Definitely worth checking his channel out and his stuff. So they came in. Some had some issues. Some haven't. A lot of them had, it sounds like the chambers bored the hell out for like blank firing, something like that. And they had some weld issues. I mean, they were pretty cheap. I think they were like $550 to $650, depending where you got it from. Atlantic had them. Bud's Gun Shop had them. Ames had them. I think one or two other smaller shops had them. But then, people have been talking about the Century-built Yugo underfolders. And, those were an item years ago. Basically, Century got a bunch of kits in. And my understanding is they contracted them out to get built by other competent builders. I don't know if there's any official documentation on that. That's just the word. Well, this is another offering they had around the same time. This is the milled Yugo ABM. That's what it's called by Century. Its official designation would be something like M70 AB1, I think. I think AB2 is the stamped receiver. You could tell this one's milled. These are different, obviously. They came from milled kits. Century got them in. And again, the rumor and innuendo is that these bad boys were sent out and contracted out to get built. The receivers are U.S. The barrels, I believe, are U.S. And, we'll get into Yugo barrels in a minute. People are always like, oh, I want the original barrel. It's like, dude, those original, like, Balkans War barrels, they're nice for, like, just to have the history, but you kind of don't want them, I think. They're sewer pipes. The original ones weren't chrome lined. They're just kind of just slapped in there and fired the hell out of them. I mean, that was a real conflict, But, for the history, it's cool. Anyway, these were milled kits that came in. The receivers, I think, were made by some company like AMB. AMB, I think, was the company. When I did some research on who made these receivers, it wasn't Century. Again, Century just got the kits, sent them, had someone else build them. This gun's been great for me. I've had this for a few years, and I actually got it not too far off from the price that those recent Century U.S. government things came in at. That's not a brag. Yeah, it is. But, I got lucky. Because sometimes these things hit like 1,000. So let's talk about it a little bit. I'm going to zoom in. I'm in my garage. I got a Pakistani waffle mag in there, 40 rounder, just for fun. And, of course, I threw some surplus wood on it with some trench art. I'll show the other side of that in a minute. You can see this thing's got, like, some scratches and shit. Whoever owned this before probably just didn't know how to flop that thing up. You could always use, pliers or something. I use the bolt carrier a lot. There's, like, that little groove that slides it into the rails. Fits in there perfectly, pops it right up. It's ready to go. You can tell I put a different brake on it. I hate slant brakes. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a single fuck. I hate slant brakes. Throw them in a box. I keep them as OCD, but no, I will not shoot with them on there. So I just put a JMac. I don't care if it's historically accurate in that case. Again, I'm shooting this thing. I actually today from Apex have finally the cleaning rod retainer coming in. It's just a little piece of metal that slides between the brake and the front sight post here to keep that from jiggling and joggling out. It's usually pretty secure, but it's really meant more for grenades. But I don't know. I liked it and I wanted it, so I ordered one of those from them. You can see these came with the flip-up night sights. I got them there in the front. Let me go back here, and you can see them here too. There we go. So you can get night sights on this bad boy. Adjust my focus. They're dirty. They're gnarly. I don't use them, but they're cool to have on there. Again, I got my trench art wood. So as I'm talking about this and going down here, these are not exact clones. And that's another thing. Because you could buy milled kits, and you'll see the milled Zastava Yugo kits. The receivers are different. They do have a lightning cut on the right side of the rifle. But, flip this guy around. This, you can see, has a lightning cut here on the left side. The originals, no senor. They do not have that. They're just slab. And then there's like the big Z and the Zastava Yugoslavia logo on there, something like that. You can look it up. Go check them out. And then there's usually like something up on the block, even though, no, I guess there isn't. I'm going off of memory. This is from the kit. So the parts from the kit on this would definitely be, front sight block, the grenade launcher, gas block, which works. It's cool. The gas tube, sight leaf block here, dust cover, flip it back around, bolt and carrier, selector, and the whole underfolder setup. And then it's got a Yugo grip. I do not like these that much either, I'm gonna be honest. I don't dislike them as much as I dislike slant brakes, so I tolerate it. I tolerate that shit, but it's not my favorite. I usually throw some tape on there or something, but I don't know. It just had the right look, and sometimes you do give up performance for looks. In the case of the slant brake, I'm not gonna do it, but for the grip, I can tolerate it. And then I did put an ALG trigger in this. Don't really give a fuck on that either. I know people have things to say about ALGs and triggers. Oh, surplus or best. These came with tap codes. I still have it in a box. Oh, I love those. Great. I don't hate them. I like them enough. But I had an extra ALG, and I tend to like shooting these. That's that. Different people like different shit, so don't be a fucking weirdo about it. With all that said, just kind of wanted to go over this again. These kind of get forgotten in time with the more available M70 AB2s that Century did. And these are definitely solid builds. Again, I've shot this a bunch. Nice and firm. No, that doesn't function. Don't get on me about that, ATF. Click. None of the parts match. So in that case, it's real good for a beater. You don't have to worry about collectability. Another reason I don't give a fuck about that slant brake. So again, the collectability, it's not really that much of an issue because you can just toss this bitch around, throw it around, fling the bitch in the mud, whatever you want to do. Those numbers don't match on anything. They are all original Yugo parts, but the carrier and the bolt, different numbers. This is a different number. Those are really the only numbered parts because there is no front trunnion on a milled AK, not really. So for all those newbies out there, I'll talk about that here. What's the difference between a milled AK and a stamped AK? And I know the experienced brothers and sisters out there might be like, why would you even say something like that? Because when I got into AKs, I didn't fucking know the difference. I was like, you guys are saying those words, but I don't understand what it fucking means because I'm an idiot. So for the idiots out there, a stamped AK, the receiver is a flat piece of sheet metal, and it is stamped and folded into this rectangular shape. The milled one, it is just a big block of fucking metal, and they mill and machine it down. This lightning cut is a dead giveaway if you didn't know. Now, they're not always there, but usually they are. Almost all of them are. Again, on the originals, on the other side, there on the left side for the Yugos, they're not. This one, they did. But this is a lightning cut. Not lightning like Raiden, Mortal Kombat, none of that bullshit. Lightening, as in it lightens the rifle. And that's just a small bit of metal there, right? But ounces make pounds. I don't fucking know. That's the deal. So those are lightning cuts. They lighten it. So that's a dead giveaway. You got a milled receiver if you didn't know. The other dead giveaway, and this is easier to my eyes, there's no fucking rivets. Because the stamped one, everything needs to be welded inside and riveted into place. The front trunnion, this is just machined out of this. The rails, they're machined out of this. But for a stamped, that shit needs to get welded in there, needs to get riveted in there. That's a barrel pin. It's, the pins are different. It's not a rivet. All the, the back trunnion, the rear trunnion would need to be riveted in. There's rivets all over the bitch. You can see this is smooth. Let's flip it around. You can see again on this side. Oh no, you saw my serial number. You're gonna call the ATF on me. But again, you can see there's no rivets. It's nice and smooth. So those are the kind of like two big dead giveaways. Usually the corners are sharper. Because again, it's just a piece of fucking metal milled out of this instead of like a stamped piece of receiver, stamped piece of sheet metal where it's folded. Let me flip it back around for you. So, those are the big differences that makes it a little smoother, the action, because again, instead of these welded, janked in pieces that might be a fraction of a centimeter off where it might cause a little more friction, This is dead on in there, smooth as fucking shit. I love milled receiver guns. I got that KBK kit I need to get built. I have Sam, Arsenal Sam ones. Galil Aces and Galils are usually milled. They're fucking dope. Big fan of them. They are heavier. So if you're real crazy, if you're like a weight whore, like, oh, it needs to be lighter, I need to skeletonize everything, then maybe they're not for you. But for everyone else, I think they're great. Will they last longer? Technically, yeah, but I mean, a stamped AK, if it's built right, is going to outlast you and your grandkids, so who fucking cares, unless you're a fucking idiot. Or unless you're like doing full auto endlessly, like in a real conflict, so just fucking hope you don't have to do that shit, right? Let's just hope. I don't think you ever will. So yeah, it is going to outlast a stamped, but I mean, that's a dumb thing to think about in the sense that the stamped is going to last well enough too, as long as it's fucking built right. Don't get some bullshit, all right? Don't get some garbage. I'm not going to get into all that right now. You can go on Reddit, and you can go on the files, and you can go on Instagram and listen to everyone bitch about what's good and what's bad. I'm not going to get into that. But if it's a well-built AK, stamp mill doesn't really matter that much. These are smoother. Again, that doesn't matter that much. It's just nice. I like them, but I'm not exclusive to them. So anyway, that's this. The only other thing to really go over on this is cool-ass handguards. I got these off Apex. Love Apex Arms. I get a lot of parts from them. I'm not sponsored by them. It'd be dope if I was, but I'm not big enough, let's be real. So we got some trench art on this, some scuffs and nicks, which is always cool. I'm going to pop the mag out, flip it over. You could see this is, sometimes people buy Yugo handguards for like M70s, like non-underfolders. If you get the notch there, it's from the underfolder here. Let me see, this underfolder is pretty stiff. Let me see if I can do this shit one-handed. Ooh, yeah, brother, I did it. Yeah. So you could see, over time, it causes a mark, especially if it's actually fucking used. So I always like seeing that, especially for underfolders. And then here, let's check out the other side. I got this P. I don't know what that means. That could be some white supremacist shit. I don't fucking know. That could just mean I like pee-pee. I like pussy. I like penises. I like Papa Smurf. I have no idea. If you know, if this is like something special in like Serbian or some shit from Yugoslavia, you could tell me. I just think my guess is like the dude's name was like Piotr and he threw his P on there. I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. But, looks cool and, the horrors of war aside, looking cool is all that matters. And then, of course, the top. And again, you could tell is legit because it's got like burn marks and scuffs from the grenade launcher sight going down on it. Some nicks there. Love surplus wood, especially on Yugos. Despite the atrocities of the conflict in the Balkan Wars and what happened there and all that shit, they look cool as fuck. No one else really had them as hardcore as that, I feel like, at least in our modern history. We don't get that shit. Anyway, that's this gun. That's what I got with it. If you find one, I highly recommend it. Despite being Century, they're legit. Yeah, they're not clone correct, but they're great shooters. Very smooth, very nice. You could throw a K&S piston in there if you want to be crazy about it. Get your shit real tightly gassed. Whatever you want to do with it. They're basically Yugos. They're tanks. I know people have shit to talk about Zastava USA sometimes. Again, not getting into it. Y'all get into that on somewhere else. Y'all go online and bitch and whine about it. The metallurgy's not good. They crack. I don't fucking know. That's what people say. I said I wasn't going to talk about it. Now here I am. I don't know, though. I don't know enough. I don't give a fuck enough. When it comes to Yugos, I like kits more. These kit build ones, they just got more history to them. They're cooler. And fuck it. If it's not got that fucking gas shut off and it's a Yugo, I kind of don't want it. That's like how I feel about it. Unless it's like an M92, M85. And again, it's not talking shit on Zastava USA. They're fine. Ooh, I'll redact that. I do like the M77. I like the M92. I like the M85. For the rifles, like your regular M70s, I want my gas shut off. I just want it. I've been told that they just like don't have anymore. Like they've used up all their surplus. They're out there somewhere in the wild, either parts of kits or contract guns. They're just gone. I don't know if that's true either. It's just some bullshit I read online. Probably just bullshit. Who fucking knows? I mean, if you're gonna import guns and you gotta get through the ATF, why the fuck are you gonna be like, oh yeah, I got this gas shut off for grenades? ATF's gonna be like, senor, no. So anyway, that's that. I got not a whole lot more to say on this. I'll try to get some videos shooting of it. Let me go ahead and snap this bitch in there. Underfolders are a motherfucking vibe. People complain about the stock or the cheek weld. I don't give a fuck because I'm built right. I ain't a bitch. Doesn't bother me. I prefer shooting these. I like underfolders, honestly, more than triangle folders, because look at that. That whole space is the pressure going on your shoulder. It's not like this tiny little sliver of a triangle. Now, this isn't great on the cheek, but fucking whatever. You could throw some paracord on there. You could throw some tape on there, whatever you fucking want. Part of it is because that fucking slant brake's slapping you in the goddamn face the way it shoots. Why I hate them. But they're just cool. I like shooting them a lot. They're, in my opinion, some of the coolest looking fucking rifles, underfolders of any kind. And Yugos are no different. And a lot of that is because of this gas shutoff to me. But a milled underfolder, you just don't get those a lot. Arsenal makes some, but you just don't get those a lot. So if you find one of these, grab them. I wouldn't pay, a certain amount for them. I think, I don't see these come up a lot. I know they're centuries. Like, I don't know, like 9 to 1,000, give or take, right? That's what these usually run from what I see. I did not pay that much, thank God. But, I think they're legit. Yeah, it doesn't have a chrome line barrel. Don't shoot fucking, corrosive 7.6239, or if you do, just fucking pour some water in it, you fucking dork. But the barrel's fine. It's going to last. It's not like the sewer pipes that came from, the Balkan conflicts. Those things are fucking gaped out most of the time. Anyway, what you think? You like SERP? You like that SERP, baby? Underfolders are dope. Yugo kits are dope. Mocha's actually has some stamped kits they have built by Pot Arms. Take a look at those when they come in stock. Again, not a plug. I just like the dude. I like all those dudes. That's all I got to say about it. Peace out.